It's time once again for this issue of Diamond Talk with the head coach of the Savage Storm, Zach Crabtree. Coach, you had a great weekend, 3-0 up in Alva at Northwestern.
Yes, sir. Anytime you can sweep a conference weekend, it's great, and especially when you go on the road and sweep, it's even better. So it was a good weekend.
How did your team play? What was it about the team's play that made it a successful weekend?
Well, I think it's our best all-around baseball for the year. We played really good defense. Only had 3 errors on the weekend, and our pitchers pounded the strike zone. We limited walks, and when you do that and you keep the ball down and limit walks and free bases defensively, and then our offense just executed, getting guys on base early in the innings and being able to get them over, and then guys come up with clutch hits. We did a really good job of situational hitting this weekend. It was just, like I said, our best all-around weekend of the season.
Seems simple when everybody does it right.
Yeah, it seems so easy. And then, Tuesday we played UCO, and we looked really bad. We hit guys and walked a lot of guys and kicked the ball around. And then 3 days later we play our best baseball of the year. So it's just kind of a crazy deal.
Now you've got a non-conference game scheduled this week, Tuesday, hosting Arkansas Fort Smith. That's a makeup of a rainout of a rainout, right?
Yes, sir. We were supposed to play home and home, and then it rained when we were supposed to go there, and then it rained when it was supposed to go here, and so we decided to just play a doubleheader tomorrow here and let some of our midweek arms get to pitch and stay fresh for this weekend.
So that's on Tuesday, and then you wrap up the regular season on the road at East Central, and you look at the standings, and there's a whole bunch of teams bunched in there together kind of in the middle of the standing.
Yeah, I think there's 5 of us trying to get those last 2 playoff spots, and the most important thing for us is we got to go take care of business and win 3 games at East Central, and it's not going to be easy. Those guys are got a new coaching staff, and they've played better this year, and it's going to be senior weekend for them, and then it's a rivalry series. So we're going to have to play our best baseball like we did this last week, and go win 3 games, and then hope that we get a little bit of help.
Some people have asked me, they look at the standings and they go, oh, Southeastern's in 8th. They're in, right? 8 teams make the playoffs in volleyball and in softball and in basketball, men's and women's basketball, but it's only 6 in baseball. Why is that? Do you know?
That's a good question. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's 12 teams in our conference, and only 6 make the conference tournament, and this is only the second year that's done that. And I think it was 12-0 vote for the coaches to move it back to 8 teams, and for some reason it didn't pass, but it's really a disgrace and disadvantage for our student athletes that play all year and compete. And like last year, Harding might have been the best team at the end of the year. They were playing the hottest, and they finished a game out, and we finished a game out of the tournament. And this year, if we go take care of business this weekend, we've won 9 straight conference games and 10 out of our last 11 games. And so, it just doesn't make sense when you have 12 teams and only 6 go to the conference tournament. I don't know if there's very many conferences in the country that do that.
Well, obviously the coaches are in favor of that format where the top 4 hosted. We did that for a couple of years, and that seemed to be pretty popular. Do you think there's any hope for that changing in the future? I know it's not in – the coaches don't get to make the decision on that, but what do you think about that?
Oh, I think it'd be great. I think to host the first round on campus, it gives a playoff atmosphere on a campus that hometown crowds, and awards the teams for finishing the top 4 in the conference. And then you go and take the Final Four to a neutral site and play a championship series. I think that'd be really good. I think all 12 coaches are in favor of it. I think it's up to administration to approve it.
We're visiting with Zach Crabtree, head coach of the Savage Storm, getting down to the last few games of the regular season. Have you heard an update on Joseph Serta, how he's doing, and where is he still at the hospital in Little Rock?
No, he's actually in Houston at the hospital. They transported him 2 weeks ago. I got a phone call from his father on Tuesday, and FaceTime, really, and actually got to talk to Joseph through FaceTime. Had a conversation. It's the first time he had talked was Tuesday, and they capped his trach, and anyway, he was wanting to call 4 or 5 of us. So he called myself and Coach Traylor and a couple of the players and just talked to him. They kept it short. They didn't want to wear him out. I know a couple of our players have gotten to talk to him since then as well, and so he's making some progress. I know they're going to start some heavy physical therapy and speech therapy this week for him, and so we just need to keep him and his family in our prayers, and and hope that things continue to improve.
So great news. He seems to be doing a lot better. I noticed in your senior day activities that you started Joseph in the lineup at second base, and there was nobody out there for the first pitch of the game. That was awesome. I love that.
I wanted to do something special for him. He's such a great young man, and he's fighting hard, and for his family as well, and didn't really know how to honor him. His family didn't want to leave him to come up here to get his senior plaque and that kind of stuff. And so I just thought, if we could put his name in the lineup, we'd be introduced as a starter one last time and for Southeastern, and then go out there and start the game and throw a pitch without anybody out there, and then I just thought that'd be a neat way to honor him and give some recognition to what he meant to our program.
Well, it was pretty neat thing to observe. So you've got to go to – all you can worry about is your 3 games with East Central. The other games, teams, what they have to do, you can't worry about that. Just concentrate on your 3 games and 8 of this weekend.
Yeah, and that's a handful for us. We've been really good at times this year, and we've been not so good at times this year. And so we just need to concentrate on what we can control and let everything take care of itself. We've put ourselves in this situation by not handling our business in some other series. And, I can think back right off on 5 games where we had the leads late and should have won, but we didn't. So most important thing for us is go play good baseball, those strikes, and minimize our errors and execute offensively like we did this past weekend, and then let everything else take care of itself. But like you said, the most important thing is that we take care of ourselves.
One last thing I wanted to ask you about. I think Mason Whitmarsh is out with an injury. Is that right?
Yeah, he hasn't started the last 2 weeks, and so that's another thing. Northwestern's a really good hitting ball club, and I think they lead the conference in home runs and every extra base hits, and the wind was blowing out up there, and so we just got great starting pitching. Cody Nitson's been really good all year for us, and then Mason Whitmarsh had been really good in the game 2 starts for us this year, but he didn't start last week against Southern Naz, and he didn't start this week, and so we moved Logan Teskey into the number 2 spot, and it was his first 2 starts of the year, and he did an outstanding job both weekends for us. And then Bryce Dethridge has probably thrown his best 2 games of the year, and so we're going to need all 3 of those guys to continue doing that. And then we got those young guys coming out of the bullpen, mainly freshmen, and they were really good this weekend. So we just got to keep doing that and build off, the past 2 weekends and try to find a way to win 3 games in 8 of this week.
There you go. That's head coach Zach Crabtree, Diamond Talk. Good luck, coach, in the games this weekend.
Thank you. Go Storm and 39 strong.